I want you to imagine that you're driving down an empty road late at night. There are no other cars around you and you're just focused on the road ahead. Suddenly, as you round the corner, you come across a car that has just crashed into a tree. What do you do? Most people will immediately stop their car and do whatever they can to help. You might pull out your phone, dial 911 to request additional assistance. You might also approach the car and see if the victims of the crash are okay. And if they're not okay, you'll do whatever you can to help them. But by doing so, aren't you putting your own safety at risk? You don't know what dangers you may face by approaching a recently crashed car. The car could catch on fire, give off toxic fumes, and you're also at risk of getting hit by another oncoming car. But despite these dangers, you decide to help anyways. This is an example of an altruistic behavior, in which the actor of a behavior experiences a negative effect to their overall fitness, but the recipient of the behavior benefits. So in this case, the car crash victims are benefiting, but it's at a cost to the person helping them. Altruistic behaviors are difficult to explain because they seem to contradict the fundamental idea of evolution, which is survival of the fittest, because by performing an altruistic behavior, a person is decreasing their direct fitness. But we know that altruistic behaviors do exist in society. You do go out and help these people despite the fact that you're not helping your own genes. And this is because ultimately, altruistic behaviors do benefit the actor as well. So direct reciprocal altruism refers to the idea that by helping an unrelated individual now, they'll be more likely to help you in the future. So studies have found that we're more likely to behave altruistically when it will benefit a close friend rather than a stranger, or when it will benefit someone in your own city rather than a distant city. So for example, you're more likely to give money to a Hamilton-based charity than you are to give money to the same charity in Edmonton. This is because the people that we're closer to, either socially or proximally, are more likely to be able to repay us in the future. So in terms of evolution, this makes sense. We'll help people if we think that they'll help us in the future. But when you go and help the victims of the car crash, these people are strangers. You don't know if you'll ever see them again, and you don't know if they'll ever be able to repay you. So why are you helping them? Indirect reciprocal altruism refers to the idea that altruistic behaviors are more likely to be performed towards people who have helped others in the past. So when you behave altruistically, you build up a positive image of yourself, and this makes it more likely for other people to help you. They'll think you're a good person and they'll want to help. At the same time, if everyone else is trying to build up a positive image score, this will make them more likely to help you regardless of whether or not you've helped them in the past. So an example of this is seen in tipping behavior at a restaurant. If you have a really great server, you'll rate their overall image very highly, and this will influence you to give them a good tip. At the same time, you want to build up a positive image of yourself. You don't want the server to think that you're a bad person, so this also influences you to tip them well. So if we go back to the car accident, you go out and help these strangers. They might not help you in the future, but by doing so, you're building up a positive image of yourself, and this will make it more likely that other people will help you in the future. There are also psychological benefits to altruism that could explain why altruistic behaviors evolved. A recent study found that people who behaved altruistically by donating money to charity reported that they had greater meaning in life. They also had higher self-esteem and personal self-worth than people who did not behave altruistically. So ultimately, after helping the car crash victims, you'll leave the accident feeling like you did something good. You'll build up a positive image of yourself, which will not only benefit you psychologically, but will also benefit you evolutionarily due to reciprocal altruism. So altruistic behaviors were able to evolve because they ultimately do help the actor and the recipient. When we behave altruistically, not only are we helping others, but we're also helping ourselves. So keep this in mind next time you're asked to help someone, whether it be by donating your time or your money. Ultimately, both parties will end up benefiting.